In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can set up and use an RGB LED strip within CodeKit, which is a simple drag and drop block coding application for Arduino. You can find CodeKit at edukits.co/code, or you can click the link in the video description. So let's get started with wiring. And in this case, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is connect 5 volts and ground to the LED strip, and then connect the data line to pin number 8 on your board if you'd like to follow along with the pin number we're using. So now we can go on to the coding step. In CodeKit, we have all of our different block categories on the left sidebar, and today we're going to be primarily using the color category. If you click to open this, you can see that we have this attach LED strip block, and we can click and drag this and put this in our start block, which means it's going to run when we're setting up our program. In our case, we have 4 LEDs, and I'm going to connect this to pin number 8, which is what we wired it to. Of course, if you're using different settings, you can change that in the block. And now we can set an actual LED pixel. So I'm going to grab this down here and set this to red, and I'm going to upload this code quickly to show you what this is going to do. I'm using CodeKit Pro, so I have one-click upload on the web, but if you're just using the Arduino IDE, you can press the copy button, and that will copy the code to your clipboard so you can follow along. You'll see that even though our light is set to 0, that's our index, we're actually setting the first LED, and that's because LED strips here are 0 indexed. That means the first LED is 0, the second one's 1, the third one is 2. We basically just start counting at 0, and that's just a common pattern in computer science. We didn't make this up to be quirky. That's just how Arduino programming and a lot of programming works in general. So that means if you want to set that LED number 2 there, you'll actually have to use number 1, and so on. I'll show you what that looks like right now. There you go. You can see that we have set 2 of those LEDs. Now, you could set the whole LED strip by copying and pasting and changing in the numbers, but there are easier ways to do this, and I'm going to show you one of them right now. And this is using a loop. So under the loops category, we can click and drag this special count loop. And we can get rid of this second one. And what we're going to do is repeat the action of setting the LED for all of the LEDs in our strip. Now, this loop is going to need to count. In this case, it's going to go from 1 to 10, and we'll change this in a moment, by the number 1, and we have this little variable called I that's being created. Now, if I right-click on the loop and press create get I, this is going to give me a little block that represents the value of I at each iteration of the loop. So what's going to happen is in the first iteration, this is going to be equal to 1, so it will set light 1 to red, and then it's going to count up again, and I is going to change to 2, and it will set light 2 to red, and so on. Now, there are a few things we need to change here to customize this to our setup. If I upload this right now, you're going to see that all the LEDs except the first one are going to go on, and that's because we're starting at number 1. And the second problem is that we stop counting far beyond the end of our LED strip here. So we can fix both of these issues. Firstly, let's start by starting the count at 0, and then what we can do is create a variable. I'm going to press a new integer, and this is going to be called num LEDs, where we're going to store the number of LEDs we have. I'm going to set this number of LEDs to 4, which is what we used, and now this has created another variable that we can reference in different parts of our code. So over here, I can drag the number of LEDs into our setup block, and then we can duplicate this and put that into our stop count block. The only thing here is that if you remember, because we started counting at 0, the last LED is actually 1 less than the number we have. So we'll need to add a quick math subtraction block and subtract 1 there to go right up to the end. So now if we upload this, we should see that all of the LEDs in our LED strip have been turned to red. So this is just a basic demo of how to use an RGB LED strip within CodeKit. Over here in the color category, you can see we have lots of different color blocks you can explore and use. We have lots of options for mixing colors, inverting grayscale, and you can also set a color specifically using a red, green, and blue value. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and you've learned something new. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to our channel because we have lots of different CodeKit tutorials just like this one. As I said earlier, the link to CodeKit is in the video description.